I participated in a lot of operations. For various reasons, I speak Arabic fluently in 7 dialects. Later, I was loaned to Unit 504. I was in Unit 504 as a handler and operator of agents for several years, and after 504, I joined the Shin Bet in the Investigations Division. I had a very interesting period there. I interrogated thousands of subjects of all kinds: Arabs, Jews, Druze, religious people, military personnel, you name it. Espionage, subversion, terrorism, everything. Very sensitive investigations involving both Arabs and Jews, as well as some of the most senior people in the country.
Is there a danger with a secret service that might do problematic things in a democracy?
I came here because I think there is indeed a danger, especially of a constitutional crisis that could be very close, yes, and a danger to democracy, certainly. That's the reason I came here. But I want to, with your permission, first, look, I divide the Shin Bet into 2 parts. There's the Shin Bet as a very important body in the state of Israel that prevents terrorism, thwarts terrorist attacks, and counters espionage and political subversion. Wonderful people, excellent people. And then there's the Shin Bet leadership. There's the head of the Shin Bet and the heads of the divisions, and I make a complete distinction between the two. Look, I know the inner workings of the Shin Bet. I've dealt with many areas, participated in discussions at all levels. I know the arrogance, the haughtiness, the contempt for the enemy. What was said in the report, that there was no contempt, there was contempt for the enemy. I have many examples that I'll bring up, maybe, if you'd like later. The head of the Shin Bet should have resigned on the night of October 7th, or on October 8th. The head of the Shin Bet failed in an extraordinary way.
Is there a danger to Israeli democracy?
Yes. There is a danger from the Shin Bet. Look, I'm not going to talk about everything I know. Guys, there are dangerous gatherings of people surrounding the head of the Shin Bet. Some of them, in my opinion, I'm saying in my opinion, I don't know this for certain, participated in writing that despicable report. That report is an unreliable report. It doesn't include everything, of course, for all sorts of reasons. Yes, and in my opinion, it was written by senior officials whom the Prime Minister called a junta. Look, it's no secret that the head of the Shin Bet was very close to the Kaplan protesters issue. It's not a secret. It's not a secret that one senior official was involved in the protests. It's not a secret that the head of the Shin Bet is a friend of Shikma Bressler. It's not a secret that there are many so-called gatekeepers who belong to that same group, and they gather and talk about the day after. Get to the bottom of my opinion. Yes, I'm talking about the possibility of a constitutional crisis. They're talking about these issues, what will happen in this crisis, what might happen. Look, a lot of things could happen. I'm afraid even to talk about it. Guys, this is very dangerous for democracy. I'm afraid of that moment when there will be a constitutional crisis, and that's why I came here. Look, the head of the Shin Bet is brilliant. He was in the Seret Matkal. He was in the Operations Division. I don't know what happened to him on October 6th. Not Herzi Halevi, not the head of military intelligence, not the general in the Southern Command. Guys, the report doesn't detail exactly what happened. I know much more than what's written. Look, guys, I'm telling you, there was very good intelligence that came during the night of October 6th that there was indeed going to be an attack. Clear intelligence, plain and simple. And there was someone who said it was an exercise, and the situation assessment he submitted was absolutely wrong. In my opinion, there was no betrayal, there was no conspiracy. People simply lost their bearings. Look, in my opinion, the refusal to serve, the Kaplan protests, greatly contributed to this event. I could detail this here for hours. I won't do it due to lack of time, but it contributed, and documents were also found that confirm what I'm saying. Yes, such documents were found. I want to tell you, speaking of the political echelon, let's assume for a moment that the Prime Minister indeed gave an instruction to transfer $30 million every month. Let's assume for a moment, and it's not true, okay? The instruction didn't come from him, and the advice didn't come from him, but let's assume it's true. So what the Shin Bet is going to play pretend. Say, I'm upset, I'm not bringing intelligence. What is this thing? The Shin Bet failed in bringing the intelligence, guys. There were 5,600 terrorists who broke into the Gaza envelope.
How do you explain the issue of not updating the Prime Minister?
In my opinion, there was an influence from the Kaplan protests. In my opinion, they belong to a certain trend, those same people. Yes, that's how I personally assess it. I'm allowed to assess that.